smelling like some almond milk, lavender and cocoa nib. Hop on the pogo stick, don't mind her, she's only here for taking photos. Shit, unless you wanted to jump in all on the low. I love your pussy lips, the fatness and the shape of them, and plus they got a little shake to them. Many times forsaken them improper use, I led you to the doctor many times in the past year. Keep the flask near, drink away the sorrows, reaching for tomorrow. Dip out of the country with this time that I have borrowed, never to return again, but you could write me with the feather. To my number one fan, I love you, Heather.
You got me feeling so fine, and I can hardly find the time. Yeah. Tomorrow's so far down the line, so sit yourself down and unwind.
This year I took 100 flights, which means my girl cried 100 nights. 100 groupie hoes I gave a pipe, but I still found time to get my paper right. Big money on it, tell them go and count the pile. Man, I swear to God, this life is wild. You be creative and they take your style. Lot of bitches out here lame, they just in denial. We keep it cool, but she hot as hell, we make it melt. She got me living with a feeling that I never felt. And every day we smoke the dopest dope that has been dealt. I had to leave her cause I'm getting booked just like a show. She told me I'ma learn that some people ain't worth the help. And you show them the ropes, they go and hang they self. And I gotta listen to anything that Heather say. I gotta stay shining, don't wanna see Heather gray.
You got me feeling so fine, and I can hardly find the time. Yeah. Tomorrow's so far down the line, so sit yourself down and
It's Imperial Carter's Voice of Hip Hop, and you tune in live with Flyboy Radio. We back, man. We with half of Flyboy International. My right hand man, King Joe the Great, man. It's the return of the man himself.
What up, y'all? What up? It's King Joe the Great. You know what I'm saying? I'm the Great, and I'm King Joe. So that's why that's my name, you know? And I'm here to remind y'all that. And also Flyboy. We men, but, we fly, so let's keep it that way, yo. What's going on, though? Imperial Carter, what's up?
Ain't nothing to it, man. I was just missing my homeboy. This dude was AOL for a couple months, but, he was just going through some things, and he had to regroup, man. I think everybody should probably maybe do something like that, man. Just regroup and refine themselves and refocus, man. Get revitalized, you know what I'm saying? It's something he had to go through. So I miss my homeboy. He's my right-hand man, as you guys know from listening to Flyboy Radio. And today, man, we just want to celebrate Black History Month, just give you guys a little history facts and just, remind you guys it is Black History Month. I don't see people making a big deal out of it too much no more, which is also a good and a bad thing. If you ask me, I'm a Gemini, so I see everything from 2 points of view. I see the good and the bad. So a lot of times you hear those dual answers from me, be like, man, this guy riding the fence. It's not that I'm riding the fence, I can see everything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, my man on the bike, by the way, so this is history. I don't know. I think it's like the first time, ever that somebody been on a bike doing a radio show. So this just shows you how much talent and skill we got and, ideas that we come up with. Yeah, man, you here, man. So, man, my bad, go ahead. I'll be cutting niggas off and shit. My bad, go ahead, dude.
That wasn't me. That was the phone breaking up, the wind, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm just enjoying life, you know what I'm saying? Riding my bike is good to be, wealthy, you know what I'm saying? It's good to be healthy as well. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just not one aspect of your life that you got to be good at. Why not be strong in every aspect, Like me, for example, I'm trying to be spiritually strong, I'm strong with God, Yahweh, and I'm, trying to work on financially and, and also, like, physically. So, people. And, I'm kind of proud of it. I mean, there's a lot of dads as well, but, we work, he's come a long way. The key is not to give up. I was away for 2 months, and the key is not to give up, man.
Yeah, that's real talk, man. Because everybody in your lifetime, you're gonna go through something that's traumatic, that's gonna get you down. But you can't let the horse kick you. You know what I'm saying? You can't let the circumstances beat you. You gotta overcome it and arise. Rise above it. And that's just what life is about. You're not always gonna be on the top, but you're not always gonna be in the bottom. You just gotta fight your way and get your way there and maintain it. What would the joys be without the sorrows? So everybody has to come back to it, man. But yeah, man. So, what's Black History mean to you, man? I mean, we've been going through it since we was little yay-highs and stuff, hearing about Black History. But really, what does it mean to you, man?
I'm gonna tell you what Black History means to me. Black History means it's supposed to be to me a time where we evaluate all the years that we've been through, what people been through in America, and and throughout our entire history. Coming from West Africa and the slave trades and from segregation all the way to everybody in every color mixing together and getting along, and all the barriers that we broke and how we all are treated equal now. So that's what Black History means to me. Besides the dashikis and Malcolm X t-shirts and stuff,
Yeah, man, that's real talk. I mean, it's a celebration of Black culture and the achievements that we've been able to, achieve throughout history. So it's definitely a celebration about that. And I feel like, as a kid, I was certainly proud to participate in Black History Month. I was like, man, I was happy. I was like, we finally got a month to celebrate our history. So I just feel like, man, I do feel like it's a good thing on one hand. I feel like it's good to celebrate Black History. It's good that we have a month, even though it is the shortest month. I know people probably out there like white people probably like, oh man, y'all niggas complaining about y'all got a short month. At least y'all got a month. Well, here's where I flip the argument. I get into my O.J. Simpson mode. You know what I'm saying? I come with the court case. I'm proud that we got a month, man. At the same time, I wish that it would be integrated into American history. Not so much to forget that Black history, we have our own history and, triumphs and tribulations and trials and tribulations, everything that we've been through. But at the same time, it should be part of American history. At least the part that took place in America, from slavery days on to, now to the historic events that we're achieving and the things that we're doing now. Yeah, I think that should be shooting. Like, stuff that happened in Africa, stuff that's part of African American history or African history, but not necessarily African American history. Of course, it's not going to be part of the American history book. But I think, everything that we've achieved since we've been on this continent should be integrated into American history so it doesn't show the separation. We still have that mind state as Americans to separate, Black history from white history or Hispanic history. My man sounds like he's good in a horror movie right now. But yeah, man. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, okay. I was trying to make sure because your phone is static,
Yeah, man. What are you on your way to, man? You about to do a joy run or something?
Nah, absolutely. Today's my only day off this week, so I'm going to a bar, man.
Okay.
Go to the bar and have fun,
That's what's up, man. Don't drink and drive. Drink and drive, my dude.
Yeah, drink and ride this bike. I ain't gonna lie, you should see me last week, man. I bust a front flip with no hands, man. Telling you, man, it was incredible.
Oh shit!
The audience to watch me.
Are you alright, man? You didn't get scraped up or nothing?
Just my hands, man.
Hey, your pride, probably.
Yeah, man. I'm just, I mean, as far as like what you said though, like I agree with you. It has to be in American history. Like it shouldn't be like no segregation and separation. Like like we shouldn't be like, oh, what I'm saying? Black history, that's it. 28 days, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like we should be grateful for what we have, and we shouldn't just only like elaborate on us. Because that's being unfair. Then we contradicting ourselves. You know? Like, we're all part of America now. Things that have happened in the past, they're done with. We can't take it back. You know, and now we should focus on how to be Americans, you know? Like, for example, like down here, right? In Florida, it's still part of the South. A lot of people say, okay, there's a lot of culture down there. So, there shouldn't be no racism. No, but yes. Let me tell you what goes on, my friend, over here. Like, a lot of Spanish people stick to Spanish people. A lot of white people stick to white people. A lot of Jewish people automatically stick to themselves. And most of all, black people stick to themselves. Like, if there wasn't no racism, then how come everybody's segregated? How come everybody separates from each other? And I have plenty of talks with other people from other cultures about this, like people from other countries. I talked to a lady like 2 weeks ago when I was doing my taxes, 2-3 weeks ago, and she's from Brazil. She was telling us the history of Brazil, and how everybody speaks Portuguese, and like how Portugal people, their slaves was free, but however they still was like still human trafficking, and then they stopped like recently that human trafficking. But as far as that, she was like, everybody migrated in Brazil. That's why you see people who are beautiful. And like the best people that make the most beautiful as babies are people that are like interracial couples anyway. So like I think like the world would be beautiful is what I'm saying. It's just everybody, mixed together, especially in America. It doesn't have to just be a point focused on just your culture. And I'm just referring that to as far as like, back to us as black Americans or African Americans or however you want to state yourself,
Yeah, man, that's real shit. And then I was reading up earlier, man. They said that the young generation, the generations behind us, because we 80s babies or whatever, but the 90s kids or whatever. It says that they're able to integrate better. They don't look at as black and white or whatever. They're socially integrated. Their social integration is greater than it has been for any other generation. So what that means for the future is you're gonna have a lot more people, coming up. They're not gonna see these racially divided in culture and society. So they're going to be more accepting between people, that are different color, different races, different ethnicities. The future, that's where the future is headed. And that's a good thing. A lot of people, a lot of times we complain about the younger generation, how they fucking up everything. But as far as that, man, people, we might see world peace in our children's generation, man. That might be world peace because of how social integration is becoming a more of a thing that's more acceptable now. So that's one good thing I have to give it to the younger generation, that they don't see those lines that we have, from the 90s and people that were born in the 70s and the 60s and all that. All the older generations, man, we have a lot of those stigmas. We have a lot of that still built into us. But the younger generation, they're breaking down those walls and those lines, man. So shout out to the younger generation for doing that shit, man, because it's needed for the world, not just America, but for the world.
Yeah, you know what? And that's awesome. That's an amazing fact that you told me. That is awesome, man. I was just thinking about that too. Like, that was a good friend of ours. You remember Gates, right? The dude with the curled up mustache.
Oh yeah, the Brooklyn dude with the mustache. Yo, I'm telling you, son.
Yeah, Mr. Conspiracy guy. When we were talking, he said something that was true, man. He mentioned that he was like, you put a bunch of white little kids, black little kids, all the other kids from generations in one room, and you put some G.I. Joes there, and you put all kinds of toys there.